Hello, hello, and welcome to Brit Reviews It All. And today I'm actually going to be discussing Zatima. Zatima has returned new season to BET Plus, and so far they only have 2 episodes posted, about 30 minutes each, I believe. So if you have not had the opportunity, stop, go watch, come back, and let's talk about it. All right. So this season, I have to always remember when we're swapping from Sisters to Zatima that it's two separate things going on. So of course, if we're only looking at Zatima, it's gonna pick up obviously from the latest episode from the previous season. Well, they kind of kept it in the same season too. They didn't branch off into a season 3. They kept it under season 2. So whatever. Anyway, so we pick up to where Fatima and Zach, they are going at each other's neck. I'm telling you, that whole thing, that whole house was like filled with such anger, and just rage, and just a big jumble of mess. You have Zach. He's screaming at Fatima. He's slapping stuff, breaking stuff. He done called Angela a B. He done called Fatima a B. If I was Angela, I would have had to say, yeah, Fatima, if you coming with me, you have to come on, because I'm not going to stand in here while this man is talking to me like this and doing all this rah, 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 and losing his mind like he's a little kid. Sorry, but that's just how I feel. Yeah, so he's just going crazy. Zach at this point has lost it. He's dealing with his mommy issues that has not been addressed. He really needs to get that sorted out in order for him to move forward, because he has a lot of pent up issues pertaining to his mom. And he's taking it out on Fatima and also self-sabotaging himself. Yeah, so that's what I gathered from that. But Fatima was not backing down. She was like, pretty much like, boy, I am not scared of you. So all of that screaming and throwing stuff and doing all of that, what you doing, and talking to her crazy, she's like, yeah, that ain't gonna run me off, but I'm gonna show you what I am gonna do, which was she took that ring off and threw it at him. Basically said she's done. He said that he's very much aware of what her two things that she cannot take when it comes to relationship. Her two things, which is lying to her, that's one, and then two, cheating on her. And so it's basically, in order to make her leave, he pretty much said, yeah, basically what his mama told Fatima, that he slept with Connie. And he's like, yeah, I slept with her, I did this to her, I did that, basically just really saying the most ugliest things to hurt Fatima and to make her leave. Whatever he needed to do to make her leave. That's pretty much what he was doing. Honestly, when he was saying and screaming all of those things and I'm watching it, I'm like, he didn't really sleep with that girl. I could tell right off the bat that he was really just saying what he said, because he's just really upset with a lot of things that's been going on. But I'm just like, you're pushing away the person who wants to be in your corner for the betterment of you. I mean, he's just super freaking angry. So that's that. Basically, at the end of all of that, Fatima did end up leaving. She went to go stay at Angela's house. Now, they go on into the next day. Zach sitting up at his office, not working, might I add. And I'm gonna, that's right there. It's like, sir, yes, you got some money off of, I think it was the stocks or whatever, but you also have to do your job to make sure, you have to work to make sure that you don't go back to the poorhouse, sir. You got to work. Regardless of what you got going on at home, when you come into that office, you need to work. Channel your energy into that, if nothing else, if you don't want to do nothing else. But anyway, he goes to this office. Bryce comes in. There's, he's still like, come on, Zach, we discussed what was what. You're not into what I'm into. I'm sorry. I apologize. That won't happen again. Can we move on from this? Will you be able to move on from this? Um, and and he's still pushing for him to really look into this deal, this business deal. He's like, dude, this is a really good deal. I really need you to look at it. So, and give me the thumbs up. Like, what do you want to do? I'm just like, oh my God, Zach. It might be something great, but you won't know because you won't even look at it. And then his friends come in, Nate and I forget the other guy's name, but they come in. I'm like, okay, y'all seem to always have a lot of free time to just randomly be up. Well, let me think about this. Obviously, Nate, he must not work. Couldn't be. And to the other friend, I believe he's a barber. He owns the barbershop with his dad, something. So I guess his schedule is a lot more flexible. So let me pull back on what I was about to say about that. But they show up to his office on their regular, and basically, discuss the fact that they were like, dude, you didn't sleep with that girl. You didn't sleep with Connie. Nate is totally convinced that Zach slept with her. And Zach finally was just like, no, I didn't sleep with her. So that's that. I'm pretty sure that she was trying, but he probably just couldn't go through with it. But I guess. So pretty much even with all of that, they're doing their thing with their guy thing. And then pretty much I'm sure the next thing that was going to come out of their mouth was, we see you're down. Something done happened between you and Fatima. Let's go out. Come on, let's go out. Where is, I think it's Zach Attack or whatever he likes to call himself when he used to get into that mode. So yeah. So he's like, I don't know. Let's see. Moving on from all of that. Let's see. I skipped past all of that. I know Fatima did go to her parents' house, said she wanted to get a few things from there, but her mom's like, girl, that stuff is old. Mind you, her mom's actually wanting to go see her, but she ended up showing up there the next day. And she's like, girl, all that stuff that you have here is like really old. And she was like, oh, well, I'll just go to my storage and get some stuff out of my storage. So she pretty much let her parents know, obviously, that her and Zach broke up, basically. Now, with all of that, moving forward past towards the end of the day, Fatima pretty much comes home or goes to Angela's home, and they just have their girl, that type of moment. Fatima's still pretty down, pretty upset about everything because she really loves Zach. And she put up with a lot of things, and I'm like, girl, yeah, you really did. And for him to just dog you out like that, that's how I feel he was doing her, and just push her away. I thought that was just whack of him. But that was that. So as a rebound, we all know that's pretty much what is happening right now. Fatima calls Paul and asks to go, does he want to go out, to dinner or whatever. He's like, sure, we know Paul was waiting on that phone call, okay? And of course, because Angela is there, she's like, when do you have a friend, that can come, Angela's here. We want to go out. We want to go get some food. He's like, yeah, I know a good guy I can bring along with me. So here we are setting up the scene for a double date. So that's that. Right. Now, mind you, as they're doing all of this, setting up dates, and Zach and the guys want to go out, I'm already in my mind, like, I can already predict what's about to happen. They're all going to end up at the same place. You hold that thought, because I'm going to get there. Now, as Zach is getting ready to go out with his friends that night, Fatima's dad shows up to the house. And he's wanting to talk to Zach, First, he wanted to ask, could he come in? Zach said, no, ain't no reason to go in. At this point, Zach's going to get ready to leave. Deja comes out on her usual, which basically makes Zach say, okay, come on, let's go inside and let's talk. He had the most meaningful conversation with Fatima's dad, and I really think he needed to hear that. What I'm gathering from those 2 episodes is, Zach, you keep hearing the same things from different people who don't even know you, like, personally at that. You got the psychiatrist. He don't know you like that. Fatima's dad, he just met you. Pretty much saying the same thing. Um, but with that being said, um, the dad showed up, talked to Zach, gave him some really good information, and said, dude, she's a catch. You know, and when Fatima loves, she loves. If she's with you, she's with you. So while Zach is all of this, oh, and these guys, they be, no. At this point, he should know that Fatima don't roll like that. She pretty much let you know, like, sir, I could go be with other men if I wanted to. I choose not to. But he heard what he heard, and it is what it is. Zach is so freaking hard-headed and in his head, and he's just so confused and all over the place emotionally that he's about to mess up a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, I'm just going to say it like this. Fatima has issues that she needs to work on. Zach has issues that he needs to work on. And when the both of them, if they do the work to do those two things, they can come together and be a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? But that's that. So, Zach pretty for the dad to pretty much tell you, like, dude, go get her. Fix it. Don't wait too long, because there are men who are waiting to snatch her up. And if you're hearing that from the woman that you're hearing that from her dad, that means a lot. And for him to say, dude, I know how to do this. I've been doing this for forever. Her and her mom are literally just alike. That's who you need to be talking to, Zach. What can I do to try to have a successful relationship, marriage with this woman? Because you did ask to marry her. You asked her to marry you. Moving on. Now, Fatima is out on her double date with Angela, Paul, and the friend. I also had a feeling with this that Nate, when he said he had a friend that could get them to hook up, you know, with drinks, whatever, you know, a section, all that, whatever, that it had to be Belinda's trifling tale. She just so happened to be the one hosting. And when they realized that it was her, Fatima and Angela decided at that moment they wanted to get up and leave. And I'm like, girl, no. What y'all should have done was sat still, waited until she brought on the next act. And then once that act was going, then you get up and leave, because you don't want to fool with her. But I'm just saying. But they didn't do that. Belinda saw them get up. She pointed them out. She picked out Fatima specifically. Said again that she messed up with the friendship. And then also decided to put Fatima on blast for being able to sing, and that they wanted her to come on up there and sing a song. Now, mind you, when this happened, Angela just so happened to notice that Zach and his friends had arrived, which obviously Zach saw Fatima immediately and notices that she's there with Paul. And baby, when I'm telling you, the look on Zach's face was just packed full of anger. And I'm like, sir, no, we not. No, we not. Y'all ain't together, right? You wanted her to leave you. You wanted her to leave. Y'all are broken up. She's not doing anything wrong. You are pushing her away. So why you got an angry look on your face? I was just, come on, Zach. Slap you through the screen. Whatever. So when she noticed that, baby, she was like, hold on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and sing. And she sung Alicia Keys' I Keep on Falling. Or Fallin, whatever the name of the song is. But, and I know that Fatima does have a history of singing the real person, what's her name? Crystal? I forget her real name, but she can sing in real life. Angela can too. She can sing in real life too, whatever her real name is. But I was cringing because I'm like, oh girl, please don't get up here and sing this song and you sound terrible. I know you can sing in real life, but don't sound terrible. She sounded great. She did good. And then in the end, Nate and all of them were, his friends was like, oh man, I didn't know she could sing like that. Did you know she could sing like that? He was like, yeah, I know. I'm like, Okay. Now, with that being said, guess what happens? Fatima leaves and tells Paul, "Come on, Paul." Um, so that was that for that episode. Now, obviously, I'm gonna go right on into the next episode. Gonna pick up right where they ended. They're still in the club setting. Belinda approaches Nate. That is when they all realize there's a whole connection there. I'm like, really, Nate? You're still a whole married man out here. I'm assuming, I don't know if you're legally separated from your wife. I don't know what you got going on, but you need to figure it out because you're going through a midlife freaking crisis and acting like a little boy. Um, anyway, Belinda realizes that Nate is actually friends with Zach, and of course, she doesn't waste a moment to let Nate know that her and Zach have history. And it's like, ma'am, if it was any kind of history, it was a smidget of history. And he said he blocked you and he ghosted you immediately. And Zach was just like, dude, whatever. Now, mind you, Nate stayed behind. Zach said he was going to leave. And he approached Angela and was like, Angela, is Fatima staying with you? I mean, just really rude towards her. And I'm like, Zach, I am not liking the way that you are treating the women. Okay, it's very ugly. At the end of the day, Angela is not your friend. Fatima is her friend, and that's who she's gonna be looking out for. So with that being said, he pretty much figured out, yeah, she's staying at your house. That's when Angela's like, tells her dad, hey, we need to go immediately because Zach is on the way to my house. Now, moving forward. Now, Fatima and Paul, they are at Angela's house. Now, mind you, I would have been like, if I was Angela, hey, Fatima, okay. Love you dearly. You my best bud. But what we not gonna do is bring a man into my house and then you proceed to have sexual relations with this man in my house. You're just staying here temporarily because you're having issues with your boy or ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance, whatever you want to call him. Let's not do that in my house. Go get you a hotel room, go to his place, whatever may have you, but not up in here. Right. Okay, so with all that being said, Fatima actually didn't end up doing anything with Paul because it just didn't feel right. Mind you, you're still emotionally attached to Zach. You're still going through that process. So immediately jumping into something with Paul, and you know that Paul really likes you, not a good thing. Now, I find it very cringy that he was still trying to initiate something with her, knowing pretty much what was going on. And I'm like, Paul, that's a red flag right there because you know that she's going through something, and that whatever it is, it may not be over with Zach just yet. And you need to, if you really like this woman and you want her, you need to wait it out, sir, and make sure that she is fully done with that situation before she opts to come on in to where you are. I mean, he's like, yeah, you know, whatever you want. I mean, you can call me his name and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, ew, dude, red flag. And it was still, you know, even though she was like, no, you know, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I can't, Paul. You know, that's a red flag for me right there. Anyway, Angela busts through the door. I don't know how in the heck they got there before Zach did, because I'm not mistaken, Zach left before Angela did, but whatever. Angela gets there, she busts in, she's like, hey, basically telling her that Zach is on the way. And then Fatima's like, oh, well, Paul, you can stay. Angela's like, not up in here. He not finna come up in here acting crazy, busting up my stuff. And they're like, well, if he's coming, then it sounds like we need to stay. I'm like, hey, ain't nobody hearing the person's whose house it is, because she said for y'all to get out of her house because she doesn't want any drama in her house. I was like rooting for Angela in this moment. Like, excuse me, hey, Fatima, your drama, you can take it on out. Not even in front of my house. Way down the street somewhere. Nowhere up in here. But anyway, she basically lets them know, y'all need to get up out my house. Thank you. Bye-bye. Talk to y'all later. You cute and all, you fine and all, but we're not doing that up in here. Now, as Zach is pulling up, him and the other friend, which I still can't remember his name, they're pulling up. Paul and his friend are still standing outside, which I'm not understanding why you're still standing there. That was another thing. So Zach gets out. Zach is actually very calm. The friend was actually trying to do all that rah, 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 and everybody else was looking at him like, okay. Angela and Fatima still in the house. So Paul's just like, hey, look, nothing happened. The girl still loves you. And he was like, I know. Paul leaves. Nothing more happens there. So Zach proceeds to go to the door, knocks on it. Angela's like, Fatima, it's Zach. So Fatima like goes around the corner and like basically tell him I'm asleep. I believe that's what she said. And he just, I mean, she let him in. She let them come in, but they stood right there at the door. And he's like yelling for her, Fatima, please, can we talk? Can we talk? She's not responding. Angela's like, Zach, just go. Just leave it alone. She's just not wanting to talk to you. She don't want to talk to you. And he gonna put his hand in her face. Oh, Fatima, I love you. And all this stuff like that. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Zach, if you really want her, you better fix it, dude. And you better get a hold of her immediately. Okay, moving on. Because they left. She never came out. Now, moving forward, I'm going to skip past the stuff with Bryce and Zach in the office. It's the same old, same old. He's still trying to get Zach to do this deal. Zach is still trying to figure out his emotional issues, what have you. And Bryce pretty much tells him the same thing that Zach has already heard from other people. Same thing. Now, Fatima, she's at work. You know, it's the next day. Fatima's at work. She gets a call from the therapist saying that, asking her to please drop by later on that day. He would like to discuss some things about Zach with her, which we all know. Girl, you gonna show up. Okay. Now, Fatima's still saying that she is done. When she's done. But we all know that there's still like a little something there that may be able to, you know, he might, if he can save it, this is the only chance he's probably going to get Zach, I'm talking about, to save it. Now, mind you, she's sitting in her office. She's talking to Angela about all of this because, you know, she had got the call. Angela's there. She's talking to her about her feelings. And Angela's actually advocating for Zach. And I'm shocked. She's like, girl, you didn't see his face. He was like, yeah. He I think he really wants to try to fix it. Mind you, even at the same time, Fatima's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to go out with Paul later or whatever. And I'm just like, Fatima, I do understand that there are some women who will immediately jump into the arms of another man or another person, whatever have you, whatever your preference is, in order to help them quickly get over somebody that they want to get over. However, you know that this man really, really likes you, and I don't think it's fair to keep kind of tugging at him and using him in that way when you know that it's like, you know that he appears to be a great man. Same thing that Angela's saying, girl, they all like that in the beginning. He seems to check all of your boxes. Y'all have a lot of things in common, what have you, whatever. However, like Fatima said, he is not Zach. There was your answer right there, Fatima. Okay, now, moving on about that, Nate, he's still messing with Belinda, which even with their interaction, we basically get an understanding. Nate, I don't think you're working. I'm going to say that again. I don't think he's working. Nate ain't got no money. He pretty much finessed Belinda into getting for them to have a little lunch date, which it's kind of weird to me how she just popped up on them. And I'm just like, okay, this girl had a thing for Zach and was still trying to get at him. Nate, it's very weird that you don't think that that's a red flag. Mind you, I also feel like she's trying to figure out some kind of way to kind of still kind of be in the mix to kind of mess up what Zach and Fatima have going on, because I think that the two of them, they were the ones getting and plotting and getting information and taking it back to Zach to mess up Fatima and Zach's relationship, or mess with it, try to break them up. So for her to act like she didn't know that Nate was Zach's friend, I think that that's real interesting. I don't think that's very true. Now, Zach, he actually pulled up to go see his mom. He runs into Connie. Of course, everybody's standing outside. Very interesting setting. I know it's like the hood projects, whatever. His brother and his mom are standing out there talking, smoking, and whatever. The both of them are on drugs. They be doing drugs together, and I think Connie Tail be doing drugs with him too. I'm sorry, but he wasn't just, yeah. Something went right there. Zach got to give you money every time he see y'all. It's very dope headish behavior. So Zach eventually he was like, "Mom, can I talk to you?" And she's like, "Oh, okay, fine. You can talk to me. You can go, but you can go take me to go get a cigarette, and you can talk to me then, and then you can talk to me." And Zach was like, "You know what? Come on, let's go." Then he tells his brother, "You too, both of y'all, come on, both of y'all coming with me." I was like, okay. Now, in the end, Fatima did show up to the therapy session, or to speak to the doctor, Dr. Reed. Now, mind you, I thought in my mind that when she went into that office, Zach was going to be in there by himself. However, he actually got her to come in while Zach is there with his mama and his brother, and that's how they ended it. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, what is going to happen in this therapy session? And I really want Fatima to just give it a chance, see what she hears, and get a grasp on Zach's past relationship with his mom and his brother, and how that affects the man that he is today, and then try to see what's gonna happen from there as far as Zach using therapy to improve himself, so that he can be a better man for her, right? For himself and for the relationship that he wants to have with Fatima. So all in all, it ended with a wow moment, and I am interested next week to see what happens with that. So it comes on Thursday nights. I will watch it Thursday night if I can. I know I have to see if I have time. I'm going to try my best to, and hopefully I can get a video up before I get to moving on, running my errands and doing all those things. But other than that, season is starting off with a bang, and we're going to see where everything goes, see what happens with Zach and Fatima, of course. See what happens with Zach, his mom, and his brother. See what happens with this Belinda chick, because they seem to want to keep her around. Don't care for her. Sees what happens with the Bryce and Zach's business relationship. Sure, there are some other things that we can get sorted out. Oh, and what happens with Connie? Can we do away with her, please? She's a distraction that's not needed. And yeah, no, Zach, you're moving on to bigger and better things. She's moving along. Anyway, but thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and come back soon. I will be posting more stuff. Please hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and we'll keep this thing going. Hopefully y'all like Zatima as much as I do. All right. Bye, y'all. Have a good day.